Hey guys, it's John back again with an update on the US Marine Corps forces for our Bolt Action in the Pacific Theatre group games. As you can see, I have been working on infantry pretty much this past few weeks. In between getting down to the Chateau Beauce for our first few games, also getting along to Derby Worlds to check all that stuff out. So it's been a pretty busy week, busy couple of weeks even. So what you can see in front of you, just to give you a quick idea, is 12 regular Marines on the right. They're just armed with rifles. You then have 3 guys lying down and 3 guys sort of stood up or slightly crouched in front of them. Those are carrying the BAR rifles, the automatic rifles, which is basically enough to fit out sort of 2 late war squads with the maximum number of weapons. So my idea for this, sort of why I've done this, is basically just to bulk out my existing small platoons so that I can fit the sort of the maximum number of rifles in there. I can take a couple of guys with my officers. There's also there's some different weapon options in there as well, so it's pretty good for sort of my overall army, I guess. Now on the left there is 2 guys squatting down. On the far left is my flamethrower guy, so he will basically be picking up one of the guys from the regular infantry squad to sort of run around with him. And the guy sort of slightly behind him, this guy, he is basically to go with my medic team to flesh that out a little bit. So I'll have a medic and 2 other guys, one of which will be carrying a stretcher. Another guy, this guy in particular, has a little medical backpack on his belt to sort of indicate that he's sort of part of that that unit, if you like. So yeah, the general theme, I guess, like I said a minute ago, was fleshing out my army, building up unit numbers, and basically allowing me to have a bit more flexibility with my army. So what I'll do is I'm going to gather up everything else and sort of give you a bit of a showcase on what I have at the minute, what I have yet to build, and sort of my plans for next month. Okay, so here we have the current, in its entirety, Marine Corps Army. Now I'll do a quick run through of what we've got and sort of explain why the tank is not finished, nor is the Jeep. Now this is literally everything that I have, with the exception of those 2 vehicles, everything that is painted up and sort of finished, if you like. Now the vehicles themselves are basically going to be redone in different colours, so I started doing those and then was reading a bit more into the sort of the background of the Marauders and sort of the armoured units, if you like, that they worked with. And yeah, having one in the same colour as my army probably wasn't going to work in terms of the background, so I am going to be painting that up in the colours of the 1st Provisional Tank Group, which was actually a Chinese part of the sort of the combined US-Chinese military forces, part of the Mars Task Force and sort of all that side of things. Now, to run through what we've got in the army itself, we have the 2 large infantry squads that are sort of flanking the tank and the Jeep there. Now, 12 man, an officer, and 3 bar rifles in those. We then have on the left over here, we have as I was saying, the medic, the stretcher bearer, and then an additional medic. Here we have my special character, I think it's Lewis Chesty Puller, is the full name there. My forward observer with a guy backing him up. Then have the bazooka team, the bazooka guy with the spotter, flamethrower team with a guy backing him up, and the flamethrower guy, and then my sniper team. with a spotter, so sniper and spotter. So what does this leave to add to other than the vehicles being painted themselves? Well, I still have a box of Rangers to sort of assemble. In fact, the only models that I've taken from the Rangers are, I say model is the flamethrower guy. So I have literally a whole box full of Rangers to put together to add to this. Obviously we've just had the Merrill's Marauders box released, so I will more than likely be picking that up to sort of add to it, to sort of give the whole 475th combined Marauders old school type feel to the army. And actually I'll probably use them as veterans, so they'll be a sort of a nice standout from the rest of the sort of the ragtag crew, if you like. Other than that, I guess my future plans are obviously to pick up the Marauders box. I want to pick up some MMG teams and possibly some mortar teams as well. And I'd really like to get a fighter plane. I think it's the Hurricane. So I'll see what I can do on that front. I know Bose has just picked one up, and it will be using that. But I do need to get one, especially considering what I'll be doing for sort of my next pledge, if you like. So, well. That leads quite nicely even onto what I plan to be doing over the next month or so. Well, it goes without saying that those two big green monstrosities, if you like, in the centre of my army currently need to be repainted into the 1st Provisional tank colours, so those will be done. And on top of that, Mel came up with an idea that we have display boards for our armies. So I've been doing a bit of research, and I don't want to give away too much at this point in time, but I will aim to have my display boards completed as well, so that you won't have to look at the army on what is my desk, which is obviously very tidy, as you can see. Nothing messy over there or over there. So yeah, my pledge for the next month's video will be the tank, the jeep, and my display board. I'll probably paint up some Rangers in the interim as well, but my pledge will be the vehicles and my my display board. Just to give you a bit of a hint on that, I will be doing an airstrip kind of theme to it. A specific airstrip that sort of fits in with the Marauders and something they captured as part of the Burma campaign. So that's all for me for this week. I believe it is Dave up next week, obviously coming to you with those dirty Banzai Japs. So I'm sure you'll be looking forward to hearing from him. But I will catch you probably in the live show next, actually. So I'll catch you then. Cheers, guys.